Too late isn't in your vocabulary. Reach your next goal at University of Maryland Global Campus. Get the accredited education you want wherever you are, on your own schedule. UMGC offers online degrees and certificates to help you level up your skills. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 31st. For more than 75 years, UMGC has been transforming adult lives. Access online courses, faster onboarding, and success coaches that help you along the way. Plus, UMGC makes an accredited online education more affordable than ever, with scholarships, interest-free payment plan, and no-cost digital resources in place of most textbooks. Choose from more than 125 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields and receive lifetime career services at no additional cost. Gain skills local employers are looking for in business, cyber, IT, healthcare, and more. Get started on your undergraduate or graduate degree or certificate online. No application fee if you apply by May 31st. Learn more at umgc.edu/podcast. Certified to operate by Chev.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2118. Why I Don't Diet Down for Photoshoots by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, your host. Welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. This is the podcast where I act as your very own personal narrator and read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online. And with that, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Why I Don't Diet Down for Photoshoots by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. When you see perfectly toned and lean bodies promoting fitness brands, workouts, and supplements, you may roll your eyes and think, ugh, Photoshop. It could be some Photoshop at play, but it could also be the extremely common practice of dieting down or leaning out that many fitness professionals and models do to prepare for photo shoots, events, and competitions. In other words, those perfectly chiseled abs may not be visible all year long, perhaps even only for the few weeks or days leading up to the date as a result of extensive and meticulous training and diet protocols. I think it's essential for people outside the fitness industry to know this because people are so incredibly vulnerable to unrealistic body standards, and knowledge is power in this case. I did the photo shoot for my website in the middle of December in New York City last year, and because I set the date at the last minute, I didn't have time to even consider dieting down to a leaner weight. Instead, I jumped in as is, also known as how I look all the time. I brought a friend who's an experienced trainer and fitness model to help with posing for the shoot, and as we left the studio, I lamented, I really like how they came out, but next time, I want to really do it right and prep for it. She looked me straight in the eye and said one of the most important things that I have ever heard as an industry professional. She said, don't do it any differently. You were perfect. I was profoundly moved by her words, and a year later, I realized how right she was. I still look at my photos, which are extremely reflective of my real, everyday appearance, and I feel grateful that I did not have time to get neurotic about my appearance for that shoot. These photos represent me as my first impression to all incoming potential clients, and I'm so glad that the images look like me. Here are the 3 philosophical reasons that I don't think I will ever do an extensive prep for an event or photo shoot. Reason number 1, honesty. My real body is an honest projection of what clients can expect to achieve by following my lifestyle recommendations. I think the last thing that people need is more distorted perceptions of the human body. I think it's unfair to explicitly promote a balanced lifestyle, flexible eating, and whole person health while using a picture that was actually created by 8 weeks of inflexible dieting and dehydration. It just doesn't match up for me and sets up my clients for unrealistic expectations for results. Reason number 2, consistency. I don't have a summer body or a winter body. I have a year-round body. My philosophy encourages consistency for the purpose of mental and emotional health and prioritizing maintenance over transformations. Do I believe in self-improvement, setting goals, and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone when change is needed? Absolutely. But this transcends weight or leanness. It's more about the kinds of actions that you take in order to achieve goals and whether those actions promote your mental health. My philosophy is that it is better for mental health and long-term success to draw on a consistent repertoire of balanced eating and exercise habits all the time, and to maintain those behaviors rather than to swing back and forth between several different protocols. And reason number 3, sanity. Food should give us physical, mental, and emotional energy, and dieting down to extreme leanness saps all of those. It is well known in the fitness industry, but not to most people, that when fitness professionals lean out for a photo shoot or event, that they often become cranky, lethargic, and emotional in the week or so leading up to that date. In other words, 3D chisel abs come with a hormonal price tag, and you pay for it with your energy and mood. I am married. I have a busy client roster. I work out consistently. I also like food and my balanced relationship with it. I like feeling good. I owe it to myself and to all the people I love to show up to life firing on all needed cylinders. I need patience, energy, creativity, and vigor to fulfill my obligations and desires, and that doesn't match up with becoming overly fixated on physique, even for a short period of time. For me, it's just not worth it, and it doesn't fit my life. You are perfect. My friend was so right. I shouldn't have done anything differently because my website photos represent me and my values, which would be creating a safe, positive place for people who want to get healthier and fitter without compromising their commitment to mental and emotional health. It also means living my own life with integrity and honesty and balance, with abundant energy for my relationships and obligations, and promoting programs that are oriented around lifelong habit change, which could pave the way for an intense fat loss protocol if you wanted to do it, but doesn't make these kinds of targeted strategies essential for long-term success. And let's do a little real talk. I am pretty lean. I am perfectly aware that when you look at these photos, you are thinking, what is she talking about? Why would she get any leaner? I'm not exactly a poster child for body type inclusivity, but this is exactly my point. We can all get so sucked into the quest for more that what we have is not good enough. And where does that path stop? It doesn't. And that is exactly the opposite of the climate that I want to create for my clients. Instead of an endless treadmill of getting pickier and pickier about the way you look, I want to give you the tools to create the lifestyle that you want to live. Take my friend's words to heart. You are perfect. Do you have things that you want to work on? Of course. Self-improvement is an essential part of fulfilling your potential, but it's important to remember that you are always a during, not a before or an after, ever. You just listened to the post titled, Why I Don't Diet Down for Photoshoots by Rachel Trotta of RachelTrotta.com.
So you open Google Chrome on your phone, you're hunting for a super rare first edition vinyl of a band you're obsessed with, when you're supposed to be working. But this site you tapped on seems pretty shady. And Daryl from IT just jumped up from his desk. Oh no, he's coming your way. It's a good thing built-in malware protection keeps you safe and sound. Not from Daryl though, sorry. There's no place like Chrome. Download Google Chrome on your phone.
Elevate your next brunch with help from Whole Foods Market. Everything you need with the quality you want. Like crispy organic pork bacon, plant-based entrees, and beautiful source for good flours that support worker communities. Get festive with Whole Food Market's selection of adult beverages, from sparkling wines to buzzless beers. And Prime members can take advantage of daily deals on bakery and prepared foods favorites perfect for brunch. Make brunch happen at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
Dr. Neal here for my commentary. It is unfortunate that Photoshop is quite often used, and sometimes even body doubles are used for many of these magazine shots that we see. In fact, many of the movies and television shows we're familiar with actually use Photoshop, and you don't even realize it. I was interning at Universal Studios in Hollywood. This was way back when I was doing my master's. And I actually got to meet an editor on a famous TV show at the time. It was a very famous TV show. And when I popped into his office, I asked him, hey, what you working on? And he said, oh, I'm actually editing this television show, which I won't name here. And I said, oh, that's cool. He said, yeah, but I don't really like it that much. I have to actually go through and make sure these actresses have no blemishes on their faces. And I paused for a second. I was like, you can do that? He's like, oh, yeah, we do it all the time. That was over 10 years ago. I can't imagine how the technology's changed since then. But the bottom line is, what we see may not always be the truth. And Rachel was absolutely right. When it comes to some of the mental and emotional sacrifices we make to look a certain way, these can be a lot to deal with. Mark Twight, who trained the guys from the movie 300, he also trained Henry Cavill to look like the Man of Steel. I remember he was interviewed and was talking about how Henry Cavill specifically got into Man of Steel shape. And he said it was a very strict diet, and it was to the point where Henry would experience mood swings. He had to be so strict with his diet, he was often feeling hungry, and this led to some hormonal changes, and at times he was a little bit moody. And so yes, these things do happen. And let's face it, most of us aren't getting paid to work out. We don't get to train for 6 months, 8 hours a day for a specific role. And so it's just simply unrealistic to think we're going to look that way unless we have the liberty of a schedule like that. So yes, I agree with Rachel completely. Think about the way you want to live, and especially how you want to function. Imagine yourself as you get older. What does that look like to you? Hopefully, it's not that picture-perfect amount of leanness with these abs popping, but rather an image of you that's in balance, where you have complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Because if you look it up, that's actually the definition of health. All right, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening every day. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back with our usual Sunday bonus episode in just a second. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.